You ranked all of your favorite movie soundtracks for March Madness.
And I've listened to them all for a really long time, actually. I know all these movies.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the record ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me, that old cinephile, it's Connor.
Your co-anchor on tonight's sports broadcast.
That's right. It is once again March Madness season, and we're doing another bracket.
Woo!
Now, in our first, I guess it wasn't for March Madness, it was just a normal bracket. We did one-hit wonders as a bracket. We did TV themes as a bracket. Tons of fun to do TV theme songs from Friends and Monk and Blue Bloods and all these other places we just pulled from a ton of different... That was a full-size March Madness bracket, right? Like 64 TV shows. It was long.
That was a big one.
Last year, we did video game soundtracks. We cut the bracket in half. Video game soundtracks was a ton of fun, talking about different games and how the soundtrack kind of impacts play. This year for March Madness, we're headed back, kind of back. I kind of consider movie soundtracks in the same category as like the TV, right? Because they're both visual storytelling. Anyway, we're headed to the silver screen.
Yeah, we're headed to the silver screen. And, you know, the big key difference between the TVs, though, and this one is we're doing songs that are actually in the scenes rather than just, you know, the theme songs.
Yes.
So, like, the music plays a slightly different role.
Yeah, it doesn't get you hyped up for the show. It helps set the mood or convey an emotion.
And I have dubbed this year's March Madness, Spin It March Madness 2026, a score to settle.
That's right. Do we have a score to settle? I don't remember how the last two March Madnesses played out.
Me neither, but it's a really cool title. I couldn't let just pass us by.
No, for movie scores.
So, you know, we're settling a score.
Yeah.
But yeah, me being the cinephile of the podcast.
Huge movie nerd.
Unless you'd like that title. I mean, you could fight me for it.
I think I'll leave it alone.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm a huge movie nerd, so I've been real excited to do this one. I had originally 92 movies on my short list.
92? That's more than a March Madness bracket. That's not a short list, that's a list.
Yeah.
It's just a normal list.
No, that's a short list. Compared to the other list, this is the short list.
My goodness. I haven't seen all of these movies. I have seen, I don't even think I could say most, but some.
There was only one movie on this list I had not seen, and so I went and watched it once I decided it was going to be on this so that I could say I'd seen them all.
Wow.
Any guesses as to which one it was?
The movie you had not seen, Star Wars.
It's a surprising one.
You haven't seen...
I've now seen it twice, if that gives you a hint.
Twice? I don't know if that does give me much of a hint. What would you have watched twice lately? Is it one of the action movies? Like a... Probably not a Mission Impossible, but...
No.
No?
Give you a hint, it's in the first region.
Oh, my goodness. In the fantasy movies? Those are so good. Well, I know it's not... Do you count the live action How to Train Your Dragon as distinct from the animated How to Train Your Dragon?
I do, but it doesn't really matter because that's still the correct answer because I had not seen the animated
What?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I told you, it's surprising. So I went and I watched the animated How to Train Your Dragon, and then I said, you know what? The live action one's out now on streaming. Let's just see how it compares to what I just watched. So I watched both the animated and the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Wow. It seems like a movie that you'd love. I can't believe you hadn't seen it.
I have since watched the entire trilogy. So I've seen 4 How to Train Your Dragon movies just since we started putting this bracket together.
Wow. Well, we'll talk more about that in a bit, but that's exciting. That's unbelievable.
Yes. So yeah, hopefully you all got the message and voted. We had a nice poll out for you to cast your vote for what was the ultimate movie score. And if you missed that, well, you should go follow us on social media.
And catch it next year.
James will tell you what that is right now.
Yeah, at SpinItPod Official on Instagram and at SpinItPod on X.
Yeah.
And we're also on Facebook and Threads and SpinItPod.com.
Go follow us there so you don't miss out on any more Spin It information.
Yeah, we don't have any kind of control over the results of this episode.
We sure don't.
This is totally audience voted. This is crowdsourced.
Yep.
And we made our own versions of the brackets.
Wait, did you vote at all? Did you vote in the poll? poll?
I did. And in fact, I stuffed the ballot box and voted 4,328 times.
Whoa!
So I'm feeling pretty good this year.
Because I didn't vote at all, so you had more of an influence than I did on the results.
Wow. No, I actually did vote once.
I did not. I didn't feel right since I made it.
Sure, but having not seen all of these movies, I wanted to make sure I was familiar with the songs, and I wanted to write down, what scores I would have given them in the same boat, so I could remember them.
Sure. You were saying we each made our own version of the bracket, so we'll be able to see who comes out on top?
We'll be able to settle the score.
Who thinks the most like the audience?
So what are our 4 regions?
Our 4 regions. 8 tracks in each region, plus a play-in round for each region, because I just couldn't shorten the short list enough.
Yeah.
To not need play-in rounds.
That sounds right.
So, in the upper left, we have Region 1, Epic Worlds, Universe, Building Scores. These are giant fantasy, not necessarily, they're pretty much all fantasy.
They end up that way.
But they didn't have to be. They just kind of worked out that way. But just giant epic scores that are used in movies that have kind of taken on a larger-than-life persona and kind of become theme songs for the universe in general. Big epic songs.
Yeah, and we chose one song that's emblematic of the entire movie score.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not just rating these individual songs, we're kind of going based on the whole score where we can, obviously, having not seen all the movies, doing my best.
Much like I did with the, we did the same thing with the video games, right? Where we said, this is the song that represents this video game's soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I tried not to allow the fact that, like, Star Wars has a bajillion songs just automatically trump a movie that just is a standalone movie and doesn't have 9 movies and a bunch of TV shows worth of music to draw from, I tried to give equal weighting where I could. Otherwise, just, all the one-offs movies don't stand a chance. But that's my personal thing. Who knows what the audience did?
We'll find out. So that's Region 1. Fantasy worlds, big epic things.
That's Region 1. Yeah, Region 2 up in the upper right. Adventure and action scores. Music that's literally propelling a scene forward.
Yeah, not a big action movie guy. I have seen a good number of these.
The movie wasn't the determining factor on what to bring. The music was, of course.
Yeah.
But I did try to keep it to super popular music from super popular movies.
Yeah.
So that most people would at least recognize, if not, if they haven't seen it, they'd at least recognize everything on the list.
For sure. I'm that way with most of it. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say there was one song in particular from Region 2 up here that did make it to the Final 4. That's my little teaser.
Wow. Spoilers so early.
Yeah, I know.
Down in the bottom left, we have Region 3, the emotional heart region. Your tear duct titans, if you will.
I won't.
Your big ballads, your songs that just are very emotionally impactful. And in the bottom right, fear and tension, suspense building songs. Whether that's fear or just true on like suspense, like anticipation. Kind of both going on here.
Yeah.
And I broke it up that way kind of on purpose because those are, I felt like, the 4 big ways that music is used in movies.
It's true. I also can't help but notice you put a lot of Hans Zimmer and John Williams in there. Deservedly so. They've done the most iconic scores in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But also, there's at least one song by each of them in each of the quadrants of this bracket. The range is wild.
Well,
you could have an all John Williams or an all Hans Zimmer Final 4.
Yeah. And Alan Silvestri's in there quite a few times. He doesn't have anything down in fear and tension, but I think he makes all of the other 3. Just in general, there's a lot of big names in the industry.
It's true.
But yeah, John Williams definitely has the best odds going into this.
Yeah.
With, I think, 8 entries in the bracket.
But which one of them do you cut? If you're going to say, oh man, we should only have like 1 or 2 John Williams movies, where do you land?
Yeah, and again, it was more about the music than the composer. So this wasn't like a spin at composer March Madness.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But this was a movie score. And I also didn't go with songs that to represent, even you might be like, oh wow, I can't believe you didn't pick,
the Star Wars theme.
The Star Wars theme to represent Star Wars. It's like, well, because the Star Wars theme isn't really used in the movie, it's just in the opening credits, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to pick something that actually had a scene where the music was impacting the movie in some way.
Definitely.
There was definitely some choices.
Yeah. Well, I suspect this episode's going to be a lengthy one. We should probably get bracketing.
Yeah, well, before we do that, I have a fun little intro I wrote up because I am a #movie nerd.
Yes. That's true.
A little music theory for you.
Ooh.
You know, and just how the music builds an atmosphere in a movie. Well, also, as we go through the different songs, we'll talk about why I chose certain ones specifically to highlight a way music could be used. But we'll get to that. Really, what I want to talk to you about at the beginning up front is this concept that maybe you've heard of when it comes to how humans interpret emotion. That words matter less than your tone, which matters less than your body language. The 738-55 rule. Have you heard of that?
I mean, probably in passing.
Yeah, it's just a basic theory that's often misconstrued, honestly. But it basically just saying that when you're referring to something that has emotional weight and your words, tone, and or body language do not match one another, the way humans interpret and decide what to actually believe is 55% the body language, 38% your tone, and only 7% what you're actually saying.
That's logical.
And again, that's only when it's involving emotion, and that's only when they don't line up with one another. Your body defaults to the body language over the words themselves. And movies kind of work in a similar way, right? The dialogue of the movie's telling you what's happening. The camera and the lighting and stuff and the actual actors acting it out, their body language, is telling you what's happening or showing you what's happening. But it's the music that's really driving how you should feel about what's happening.
Yeah, that's true.
You can take the same scene, and I'll use one of our first songs that we're going to talk about in this bracket, Luke Skywalker standing on Tatooine, looking at the twin suns, and you can put different music behind that and completely change how that scene is interpreted by the viewer, right? You have this kind of the song that's actually used, Twin Suns, and it's a very hopeful but melancholy song, right?
Yeah.
And it adds this sense of destiny. You could easily instead put some soft piano music behind it to make it more about reflection and what Luke's thinking.
Or you could put the Jaws theme behind it and make him think the sun's gonna explode.
You could put some ominous strings or horns behind it to give a sense of dread of oh no, something bad's about to happen. That kind of stuff. It's the same visual, it's the same lack of dialogue in that specific scene. It's the same lighting, it's the same acting, it's all the same, but you put different music and get a completely different takeaway. And that's really why I was so excited to do this bracket in general, right? Mm-hmm. We're really zooming in, not just looking at movies or ranking what's your favorite movie or what's your favorite song, but really isolating in on the elements that transform a moment into an experience.
Yeah.
So to me, in film, tone isn't just 38%, it's everything. That's what I take away most. When I watch a movie, I'm paying attention to the music, sometimes more than the plot.
Whoa, wow.
I love movie soundtracks.
That's fair.
And so anyway, we should definitely jump in because it's going to be a long one. And because I'm a goofball, I've written up silly little intros for each of our matchups.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Well, the first round is always the longest.
It really is.
And then the second round and third round and all the rest go by really fast.
And it just goes real fast. So, how do we want to handle the play-in rounds? Do we want to talk about those two songs before jumping into the actual region? Or do we just want to, for time's sake, just tell them what won and kind of skip over the other one?
I think we should just talk about what won its way into the bracket in the play-in rounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other ones, they didn't play in.
Yeah, I mean, do we mention that that's what it beat out when I say it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, so Region 1, we're going to start over in the upper left with the Epic Worlds, right?
Epic.
So we're starting off our bracket where galaxies are formed and dragons get frequent flyer miles. It's Binary Sunset from Star Wars Episode 4 against our play-in winner, Test Drive from How to Train Your Dragon. It beat out the Transformation song from Shrek.
Thank goodness. That's what I had in my bracket, too.
Yeah, same. I mean, I love the Shrek song. I wish we could talk about it. We can't because it didn't win.
No.
But yeah, so that's our first matchup. Binary Suns. It's a John Williams song. He did all of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Specifically the original Star Wars, or what it's now dubbed as Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yes. Incredible score for the whole thing.
Yeah.
The Imperial March, the theme song itself, so many moments, down to the Cantina Band playing.
Yeah.
Every musical moment in Star Wars, they don't waste a beat.
Specifically, Binary Sunset is used when Luke Skywalker stares at the twin sons of Tatooine and contemplating a life beyond moisture farming. You're like, I want to go into space and be a pilot.
Want to see the world.
That sort of thing.
Want to run to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters.
I also found one little fun fact for each song, or what I hope is a fun fact.
Okay.
I guess that's up to you to decide.
I'll be the judge of that. Me and the audience.
So for this song, it's that John Williams originally scored this specific scene more subtly, but George Lucas wanted something more emotional. And so he had to add in the brass swell that now we consider one of the most iconic motifs in cinema history. I mean, it went on to become the Force theme. Anytime the Force is being used, you hear the little bum 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 bum. That, the little motif plays.
Yeah.
That almost didn't exist.
It's such a remarkable scene. The emotion is palpable.
Also, if it matters for you at all, here's a version of it where they still have the sound in, but the music's been stripped out, and it's kind of funny.
I love stuff like that.
So you can hear like the wind and him breathing, but there's no music. It's real funny when he gets to the part where it's just cutting back and forth between his face and the sun.
The music makes it not feel quite so long and awkward. To watch the scene without music, it's like, get on with it.
Yeah, it's a long 34 seconds. He just stands there and kind of just looks, and then he just turns around and walks back.
Yeah.
It's like, what was the point of this?
Yeah, you lose a lot of what he's thinking when the music's not there.
Uh-huh. The music tells you what he's thinking. Exactly. But yeah, so that's the first one. Versus, again, Test Drive by John Powell from How to Train Your Dragon, or How to Train Your Dragon live action. It's used during Hiccup's first successful flight with Toothless, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My fun fact for this one, Powell recorded massive live percussion and layered in Celtic influences to create a soaring lift that builds up to the cue without repeating the same orchestration twice.
Yeah.
So like there's like no repeat orchestration all the way up until the big hit.
Which makes sense to me because you're flying. You're passing different scenery every second. It really matches the moment well.
Mm-hmm. It's an awesome song for sure. When listening to all these over and over, it's probably one that got stuck in my head a lot, and I also kind of ruined it for myself.
Oh, yeah? Too much?
No, it's just, me, I like to make up silly lyrics to stuff that doesn't have lyrics.
You do, yes.
I did that with this one, and for some of that big hit, the bum, 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 I just took the title of the movie, just like, How to Train Your Dragon. And I just started, like, that got stuck in my head. So yeah, then I couldn't help but laugh every time I heard it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who put this song on while they're driving, and it does make them drive significantly faster.
Yeah.
I'm not naming names. I'm not a narc, but...
That's so funny. I purposely put the live action version in the voting poll, mainly to troll super big fans of the movie, but also just to anybody who was like boycotting the live action version because live action movies usually suck compared to the animated ones. I actually quite liked the How to Train Your Dragon live action.
Isn't it pretty much a shot-for-shot remake?
Yeah, the original director came back for it and like did basically a shot-for-shot remake, but in live action and with CGI dragons.
Well, I just don't understand why it exists.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I just think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, it's a good movie. So,
hey, the animation on the first one, it's not that old of a movie in terms of animation, but the animation of the first one was a little rough at times.
No, it's a smidge.
In a way that was kind of, I was like, I wondered if they were like using like a newer but didn't quite work out like they hoped, like animation software or something. Because like movies that are older than that look better.
Maybe. Or, at the time it wasn't a big successful movie. Maybe it wasn't in the budget.
That's true. It just didn't have the budget. Yeah, that could be. But yeah, what'd you think? Me personally, I went for Binary Sunset because how can you not?
I did too.
But it was sad to see How to Train Your Dragon go in the first round.
Well, yeah, it was. But this is a tough quadrant of the bracket. I had a lot of 9s and 10s for me going up against other 9s and 10s. So that was tough. But also, thinking back on the How to Train Your Dragon movie, I just don't remember too many other memorable score moments, whereas Star Wars is full of them. And part of that's nostalgia, and part of it is I've seen it way more, and part of that is I've watched 9 Star Wars movies instead of 1 How to Train Your Dragon. I get all that, but still hard to argue with something like the Star Wars score.
Have you only seen the first one?
I think I've seen a little bit of the second one, but yeah.
It's another one of those trilogies that's like almost perfect.
Wow.
Well, this one was actually really close. Star Wars almost got knocked out round 1.
That would have significant impacts on my bracket.
But the audience votes are in, and Binary Sunset moves on.
Okay. That is a relief. I can take a deep breath now. Sorry, How to Train Your Dragon.
So sorry. Go back to training.
It could have gone farther against different songs.
It definitely could have. This is the toughest quadrant, but this quadrant did not have my toughest decision.
Interesting.
But up next, going to our next round, seed 3 versus 3-7. It's Dinosaurs versus Romans, Prehistoric Wonder versus Roman Farewell.
That's right.
We have Welcome to Jurassic Park by John Williams from Jurassic Park, and Now We Are Free by Hans Zimmer and Lisa Gerrard from Gladiator.
Yeah. I have seen both these movies. Again, I'm so far batting 1,000.
Nice.
But also, I only recently watched the first Jurassic Park. I mean, recently is in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Gladiator I watched ages ago, and I've been meaning to watch it again ever since. I tried to get my family to watch it because I said this was an incredible movie, but I haven't watched it since. I mean, it's been a decade or more since I've seen Gladiator.
Sure.
But really enjoy both. Hard to top the Jurassic Park soundtrack.
John Williams strikes again. The Welcome to Jurassic Park song, it's used during the first dinosaur reveal when the Brachiosaurus is shown. It's the first time anybody's seen a dinosaur in the movie, right?
Yeah.
And it's the first time anybody, the Jurassic Park was known for having the big animatronic dinosaurs. Like, this was a movie feat. Movies didn't look like this back when Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah.
So it needed a song to match that level of hype. And my fun fact for this one is that John Williams conducted the orchestra live as the scene was playing to match the build-ups, the hits of the song to exactly what was happening on the screen, rather than just recording it and trying to sync it up later or using like general cues.
Yeah.
They wanted to get it exactly right, so they did it live.
That's interesting. I do think the score lives up to the weight of the moment, but it doesn't make me think dinosaurs or dinosaur theme park or Jurassic Park at all, other than the fact that it's in the movie. Like, just to hear it.
It's not supposed to.
Maybe not. I mean, if you played that for me, no context at all, I would not guess dinosaur, but I get that.
Yeah. Keep in mind, the whole point of Jurassic Park in the original movie is there's this rich guy who just wants to share his love of dinosaurs with the world by bringing them back to life. And then we see it through the eyes of, some paleontologists who also love dinosaurs, and then some greedy idiots who want to just make a bunch of money off the park. So I think the song does a really good job, and the score in general does a really good job of capturing both just the gravitas of, oh my gosh, dinosaurs are walking on Earth again amongst humans, with the emotional lightness of like wonder, of like a childlike wonder of these like adults being like, oh my gosh, the things I've studied my whole life are here, and this is an amazing moment.
I do get that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not raw dinosaurs theme park, blah, 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 blah. It's almost like scientific curiosity as a song.
That's what I wanted Jurassic Park to be.
I'm telling you would like Jurassic World then, because yeah, it's all about dinosaurs theme park. Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Now, there's a similar weight to the moment in Gladiator.
Yes.
But the scene, comes late in the movie at the end.
Well, it's hinted at. The theme plays in small little snippets throughout the whole movie, but I specifically chose the cue where the full song plays at the very end as Maximus is having his final vision of reunion with his, spoiler alert, murdered family. And so that's like the big moment where the cue finally pays off. Hans Zimmer, big collaborator. Pretty much every time he's on this, he's working with a different artist to make the score.
Yeah, it's true.
My fun fact for this song is that Lisa Gerrard sings on this in a self-created language. It's not Latin like a lot of people assume.
Oh.
It's a self-created language, which gives the song kind of a timeless spiritual feel rather than tying it to a specific culture.
Huh. That's cool. Yeah, for me, great moment, great score for the situation, but I went for Jurassic Park.
I also went for Jurassic Park. The question we must ask ourselves: did
the audience pick Jurassic Park? Did they knock out Russell Crowe?
They sure did. Jurassic Park moves on.
Hey!
This one, not nearly as close as How to Train Your Dragon versus Star Wars.
Not nearly surprised by that.
I feel like I would have expected this one to be closer.
Maybe a little bit. I just think that's a result of people not being as familiar with Gladiator.
Yeah, I'm also just a huge Gladiator fan like you are.
That's right. Huge fan who watched it once a decade ago.
Oh, well, you just said you loved the movie.
I did. I remember loving it.
And I did too. I've watched it a lot.
Well, up next, we're getting to the first of the movies that I have not seen.
Ooh, well, get your wands out and your cutlasses ready, because up next is Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone versus The Medallion Calls from Pirates of the Caribbean. We are 3 for 3 in terms of bracket matchups here with John Williams.
Yeah.
John Williams did Harry Potter as well.
I didn't know that.
And Klaus Badelt, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sorry. Klaus Badelt did Pirates of the Caribbean, specifically this song.
Yeah.
I think Hans Zimmer is involved with Pirates of the Caribbean.
He might be.
But not this song.
I have not seen Harry Potter.
I know.
None of them. Never.
You know certain details, though.
I know a few details. Voldemort doesn't have a nose. Harry Potter was abandoned on a hillside with a lightning bolt on his head, and he lived. There's a guy in it whose name is Neville. Is bad. He's mean. Or is that someone else? I played a Harry Potter board game with some people once, and I was a villain. No, his name's Draco. Is that the mean guy?
Hey, yeah, Neville is a character, though. Kind of the opposite of Draco. He's the really nice, kind of comic relief, the guy who can't do anything right character.
But then I also know that there's an owl named Hedwig.
And he has his own theme.
I didn't know he had his own theme, but I'm not surprised.
And now you know that Harry gets a bunch of letters in the mail.
Yeah, I guess I might have assumed that, but it makes sense. It's a fun scene. It's a chaotic scene. Why did you pick Hedwig's theme in particular?
Well, one, I don't remember where the scene starts, but the whole reason he's getting all the letters is because, like, his aunt and uncle keep ripping them up, so he keeps not getting it, so then more owls come and deliver it, and so on and so forth.
That's funny.
It's very early in the movie, before Harry even knows that he's a wizard. So again, it's one of those things similar to, like, Jurassic Park or Star Wars, where the main character is discovering this grander world alongside the audience. And Hedwig's theme kind of has taken on, again, a life of its own and is used throughout the entire 8-movie franchise.
Until he dies.
Well, even then.
Well, yeah.
It's used as a motif, and it's used in so many different ways. How it's used here is kind of just like this playful, like, mystery of a world, all the way up to these big, like, orchestral, like, bum, 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 during big moments or during title sequences. It plays during storms. It plays during chases.
And we love some versatility.
They play, like, Christmas versions during the Christmas party in one movie where there's, like, a little jingly version of it. It's just used so much, even when the dang owl isn't on screen. Almost exclusively when the owl's not on screen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it was either that or Harry's Wondrous World was what we were going to have to pick for Harry Potter. But I went with this one.
I know both of them equally, although Hedwig seems a little familiar.
My fun fact for this one, the Celesta was chosen to perform this song.
We know all about the Celesta.
Yeah, we do.
We know that Tchaikovsky stole it from France.
Yeah. John Williams chose it specifically to evoke a childlike magic. But then he built the theme around a descending minor third to give it a sense of mystery.
The man's brilliant.
Yeah. Klaus, over here with the Medallion Calls, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a core atmospheric motif of the entire first film.
Yes.
And into the rest of the franchise, but heavily in the first film. The scene I selected for you all as reference was more of a comedic use when he's first introduced on the boat and it's actually sinking, which is hilarious. Really sets the tone well for the movie.
It does.
This song, it was composed, again, Hans Zimmer involved here with the soundtrack, but Klaus specifically wrote the Medallion Calls, hence why he's credited. But Hans Zimmer had to call in some help because there was an intense production sprint to get the soundtrack done at Zimmer's remote control studio system, where the entire score was written and recorded in just a few weeks in order to get it done.
Wow, that's wild.
Which may also explain why the music gets reused so much.
Well, it's also so good, though. I can't fault them for using it again and again, finding what works and sticking with it.
Yeah.
Incredible film. and decent franchise, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good trilogy.
Kind of a backwards one, because the movie is based off of a theme park ride.
Yeah. It's the probably most successful of the Disney theme park ride movies. I mean, Disney's done that for a lot of its rides.
That's true.
But I don't think any of them's really taken off in a way like Pirates of the Caribbean did.
No. For me, the Harry Potter theme is cool. It's mysterious. It's great. But man, the rousing, adventurous pirate spirit of the Medallion calls. I mean, it's calling. It's just too much to ignore. I gave it to the Medallion calls personally.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the audience did too. But I know there's a lot of big Harry Potter fans out there with a lot of emotions tied up to Hedwig's theme.
I did too, and I had very specific reasoning for why. And it was because I felt the Medallion calls was used better in the scene.
Yeah.
Hedwig's theme, it takes on this life of its own. It's used all over the place. It's very versatile, which is really cool. But it doesn't do a lot for the scenes that it's in other than kind of...
It makes you go, oh, this is Harry Potter.
It tells you, oh, it's Harry Potter, and it's used a lot mainly just in title sequences after the first film. Whereas the Medallion calls is used throughout the entire movie at very pivotal moments. So I also went with that, but I'm also very worried because the audience... I know has a lot of very passionate Harry Potter fans.
Yeah, how'd we do?
But Captain Jack steals the victory. Pirates of the Caribbean moving on to the next round.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It was a close one.
He might be the worst pirate you've ever heard of, but you have heard of him.
0.13 percentage points, or I guess 0.13 points is all that's separated the two there. It was a real close one.
Wow.
Maybe one of our it's actually our closest matchup yet.
Incredible. The next matchup, song for song, I almost found to be pretty hard. I had to consider the whole movie scores.
Mm-hmm.
This was a tough one for me. Up next.
It's time to eat second breakfast while hearing your sandworm prophecy. We've got Concerning Hobbits by Howard Shore from The Fellowship of the Ring versus Ripples in the Sand by Hans Zimmer from Dune.
Two incredibly rich fantasy worlds in Lord of the Rings and Dune.
Yep. Very different songs, too, selected to be the representatives.
Yes, true. Dune is a rare time that I walked out of the theater thinking that movie had an excellent score. I know it's often a part of movies, but like it's rare that a score rises above like so much that's the thing I leave baffled by. But Dune 2 really did it.
There's one other movie on this bracket that did that as well for me in recent years.
But I didn't see Lord of the Rings in theaters.
I have. It's awesome.
So I think the world building of Concerning Hobbits is incredible. The Shire, it's such a great theme, and it changes its meaning. By the time you start off on an unexpected journey, it's home, and then as you progress through the story, it's more and more, it represents like the changes that Frodo goes through on this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back and you hear the theme in the same place, in a similar context, locationally, but emotionally, the song hits completely different because of the nostalgia of like having gone on this trip and then come back to what once was.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. And the music throughout.
But yet what once was never can be again.
Yeah, they didn't keep the Reckoning of the Shire in the movie, but that's okay. Not even the extended editions, though. Come on, what are you extending them for if you're not going to keep all the stuff in?
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
My fun fact for Concerning Hobbits.
Yeah.
Howard Shore used Celtic instruments like tin whistles and bodhrans. Bodhrans, B-O-D-H-R-A with a little funky symbol in, to give Hobbiton its rustic identity, and the melody evolves throughout the trilogy as innocence fades, like you said. For Ripples in the Sand, it's used pretty much at any key moment where Paul's having his destiny emerge.
Where the sand is rippling.
Yeah, the ripples of destiny, if you will. My fun fact here, Hans Zimmer avoided traditional orchestration for this song and created custom instruments and vocal textures to make Arrakis feel alien rather than Earth-derived. So it's all custom instrumentation to make this song.
There's not much that's traditional about Dune.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it stood out as such a unique soundtrack.
Yeah. Again, rough that these two are going up against one another in the first round.
Yeah, both 10s from me.
Both 10s for you. I gave Lord of the Rings a 10. I gave Dune a 9.
Whoa.
And that's mainly because Ripples in the Sand is really the only song that like I can pull from memory at any given moment.
Yes.
Like if I hear the other ones, I'm like, oh yes, I know exactly where this is being used.
This is definitely from Dune.
Yeah, but if you just said pull a song from memory, this is the only one I can get, whereas I can pull multiple Lord of the Rings songs.
Same here.
So I gave it the slight edge.
Yeah, I was in the exact same boat.
So you went with Lord of the Rings as well?
I went with Concerning Hobbits.
And so did the audience by a large margin.
Oh, poor Dune.
Audience, not big Dune fans. Not big Dune soundtrack fans, to be exact.
Man, they're all on the spice if you're not a big Dune soundtrack fan.
Have you read the book? I know you like to read.
No, I keep meaning to, and I haven't gotten around to it yet.
I know you like went as far as to like read the Lord of the Rings.
I did.
I'm partway through the first book. I have them.
Well, it's nice to know that in round 1 of the Epic Worlds, I have crushed it.
Yeah.
Do we want to take this one all the way to the final 4 before we move to a different section of the bracket?
I think we do. I think it'll be easier to do it that way.
I think so too.
So, kicking off round 2 of Epic Worlds, back at the top, we got Binary Sunset by John Williams from Star Wars versus Welcome to Jurassic Park by John Williams from Jurassic Park.
Man, it might be a close race between the songs, but I definitely know which composer's going to win.
This, I believe, if I'm looking at the results correctly, is the closest matchup in the entire bracket.
Wow.
No other round is nearly as tight in the score.
That scares me because obviously I have one moving on.
Oh, actually, there's one that's tied with this.
Oh, dear. Well, I had to consider the whole movie when going for these. And same as the other time, beyond the Jurassic Park theme, I mean, that's obviously the zenith of the entire situation on Jurassic Park. Star Wars has a lot of other moments that stand out in my mind.
Yeah.
So I went with Star Wars again, even if you're just looking episode 4 to the first Jurassic Park.
Which is what I did. I didn't take into account the other movies here specifically. I did actually, spoiler in the next round, have to go so far as to consider just the entire universe because it was so tight of a race for me.
Wow.
But here I was able to keep it just movie. That's kind of what I did throughout the whole thing with the Epic Worlds. Like round 1, I kept it just to the songs. Round 2, I kept it to the movie. Round 3, I kept it to the universe is kind of what I did. But yeah, I went with Star Wars. I also just think Binary Sunsets is the better universe builder.
Oh, definitely.
The song Welcome to Jurassic Park, it's a great song, and it's used in some very clever ways throughout the entire trilogy and even into Jurassic World. They continue to find clever ways to use it, but there's only so much you can do with it without distorting the song to an unrecognizable level. Whereas Binary Sunsets, that motif can be put over so many different emotional scenes to convey slightly different emotions and not change a thing.
Yeah, speed it up, slow it down, remix it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. The versatility.
I mean, so many other songs in the universe have that woven into them. When there's like a spot in like Duel of Fates where they're like using the Force, you'll hear the little Force motif woven into the Duel of Fates track and things like that. It's so versatile.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave it to Binary Sunsets. Sounds like so did you.
I did.
And so did the audience. So we're still perfect scores.
Thank goodness.
But again, there was 0.04 points separating the two.
Oh my goodness.
It was close.
That means the 9 that I gave Jurassic Park really was the difference. or darn close to it.
Our other matchup in this round, the Medallion Calls versus Concerning Hobbits.
Yeah, same deal here. The Medallion Calls, it's the same emotion every time. Yarg, pirates, it gives you that adventurous swell. But the character development that happens through Concerning Hobbits is just unbeatable. To me, I mean, I gave both of these a pretty strong 10, but Concerning Hobbits is such a unique score to put you into the world. The traditional instruments is really fun. I don't know, I just liked it a lot. So I gave it to good old Jolkin, Rolkin, Rolkin, Tolkien.
I did as well. I also went with Howard Shore, not Tolkien, because Tolkien didn't do the music.
Well, no.
But Concerning Hobbits was my vote. And it was the audience's, which means we might go an entire region perfect here. Because it all comes down to this final matchup. Epic World versus Epic World. Binary Sunsets, Star Wars versus the Lord of the Rings Concerning Hobbits.
Oh, it breaks my heart to put these two next to each other.
Titan versus Titan.
Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings.
And, John Williams has been 1, 2, 3 of these 8 we've talked about, and he could be completely knocked out of this region by Howard Shore.
He could. That's true. And it's very possible.
He had a 37.5% chance of winning this region, and it could all be undone right here.
Well, to be fair, his odds have increased to like 50-50.
It's true.
So he's doing better. But I have like home videos of me as a kid opening Star Wars toys for Christmas. And I just watched Lord of the Rings for the first time in like 2021 or 22.
Is it really back during COVID when you did that?
Mm-hmm.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Wow. I was there.
You were.
Because I made you do the extended edition.
Rightfully so.
You were like, ah.
That's my kid. No, I was all in on the extended editions.
And I was like, no.
We had nothing but time in 2021. That's before we had a podcast.
That's true.
But I went for Star Wars.
I did as well.
I can't justify one over the other too strongly, but...
Just personal preference, really.
Yeah. Sci-fi versus fantasy really is kind of what this comes down to.
Yeah, it is. And it is a battle as old as time itself. And the audience has declared sci-fi the winner. Binary Sunset moving on to the Final Four.
That is a relief. Wow.
The Epic Worlds champion.
So we both have been perfect with the audience here.
Yeah. Epic Worlds was a sweep for both of us.
That is shocking.
Normally not how this goes.
No.
I really figured Harry Potter was going to be my downfall on my bracket. I thought Harry Potter would win, but we have a bunch of pirates in the audience, apparently.
That's true. Or maybe not true. I don't know. We'll have to check our Caribbean listenership.
It's time to head over to Region 2, Adventure and Action. With our first matchup, I don't know about you, but I take my whips cracked and jets scrambled, not stirred.
Goodness.
That's right. It's Desert Chase by John Williams from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark versus Komodo Dragon by Thomas Newman from James Bond, Skyfall.
Oh, I've made a wrong pick.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you pick
I had
Dark Star
from Top Gun Maverick moving on into the actual bracket. So hopefully that doesn't count against me as it's just a play-in round. I guess we'll see how this round turns out. But
we'll see. I think in a tiebreaker scenario, that would be your downfall, potentially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think it doesn't count against you otherwise.
The trick is that I haven't seen Skyfall and I haven't seen Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick, and they both got 7s. So kind of a flip of the coin for me.
Yeah. So what you think is, having not seen either of them, how did this... I'm curious to get your opinion on the scenes. Did both songs feel like they were driving the scene forward for you?
Yeah, but more so in Dark Star. I mean, the sound as he's flying up in the... Like, that was the airiness of it, the atmospheric nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why is it called Dark Star? This is a war pilot movie. But then watching the scene, I was like, oh, that's a perfect name for this.
Yeah.
The way that it kind of feels. Komodo Dragon, fine.
There was a Komodo Dragon in the scene.
It kind of just felt like another... I'm not a big action movie guy.
Yeah.
I should preface this region with action movies are not necessarily my go-to.
How do you feel about Tom Cruise?
I like his middle tooth. The one tooth that's right in the middle of his head instead of like 2 front teeth on the sides.
Uh-huh.
I don't have much of an opinion on him.
Yeah, because he mainly is an action movie star for the most part. So like Mission Impossible, that kind of stuff, right?
Well, yeah. And I saw him in A Few Good Men.
But I just think you'd really like both the Top Gun movies.
Maybe. I probably would. I think it's surprising that I haven't seen them yet.
They're like up your alley. But yeah, Komodo Dragon won the play-in. And my fun fact about, well, first off, Komodo Dragon, it's used during the Shanghai skyscraper fight. My fun fact is that Thomas Newman used glassy percussion and minimalist pulses to create tension without relying on the James Bond theme to drive the scene. Because a lot of Bond artists just try to shove the James Bond theme everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
He wanted to have the scene stand on its own 2 legs without that theme. And also, there's a Komodo Dragon.
That is pretty cool.
Desert Chase, John Williams. I mean, the iconic truck pursuit scene.
From Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
I have seen that, of course.
My fun fact here, and you're going to start to notice a trend with the John Williams fun facts, it's that Williams used tightly synced tempo to the actual stunt choreography to make the music feel like it was steering the vehicle itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
So once again, he loves to take his music and he crafts the song around what's already been shot so that he can make the music perfectly sync with what the viewer's watching.
Yeah.
And you wonder why this guy wins like a Grammy every year.
I know. Well, Desert Chase is an iconic sequence. The music from it is iconic too. Not quite so much as the Indiana Jones theme, but it's up there. I mean, it's recognizable for me, and I haven't seen the movie in years.
I've only ever seen each Indiana Jones scene I've seen one time, and that's it.
Whoa.
But I can still, they're just such iconic movies for me. I can like tell you their exact plots, but I've just never watched them again.
I played a lot of Lego Indiana Jones on the Nintendo Wii.
Yes, same. That was a game I rented from the public library like 3 times in a row so that I could beat it.
It's good. And you could use the Wii remote as the whip. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was advanced. Well, I love the soundtrack of Raiders. I like that Desert Chase incorporates some kind of interpolation of the Indiana Jones theme. I mean, Indiana Jones is an action hero of action heroes. No shade to James Bond, who is also, I mean, the same, an action hero of action heroes. But I don't know. Desert Chase, the brass, the bigness of it.
You're also a history guy, so.
I am a history guy. Archaeology resonates more with me than a secret spy or whatever James Bond is. I've never seen any James Bond movie, actually. But I gave it to Desert Chase.
I did as well. And before I tell you what the audience went with, I know we said we wouldn't do this, but I want to tell you my fun fact for Dark Star, only because it's really cool.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I picked Dark Star. I liked it.
Yeah, real jet engine sounds were integrated into the sound design of the song. They took real snippets of like jets roaring and built it into the song, and that's really cool.
That is incredible.
As an aerospace guy, I think that's really cool.
Should have won.
But it didn't, and neither did Komodo Dragon. The audience went with Desert Chase.
Okay, so that's not going to bust my bracket then, picking the wrong play in.
No, it's not. But if we happen to tie, it might give me the edge, unless I miss one.
Right now, a tie does not seem unlikely.
Up next, Seed 3 versus Seed 6. Dream Spies? That sounds impossible. We've got Time by Hans Zimmer from Inception versus Stairs and Rooftops by Lauren Balfe from Mission Impossible Fallout. Tom Cruise didn't make it into the last round. He did this round.
Yeah.
Time from Inception. It's used a couple times again. It's one of those motifs that kind of plays throughout the movie, but the big use of it is in the final spinning top scene. Just that final him waking up and going, is he awake? Is he in a dream still? Does it even really matter?
What do you think? Does the top fall?
I like the interpretation that it doesn't matter because he's not even paying attention to it. He's run off to see the kids, right? He no longer cares. Why should I?
What a cop-out.
That's the whole point. Is like you can either sit here and obsess over it or you can just live the life you're living and be happy.
Yeah, it's all fine until it kicks one more time and then it's all gone.
Yeah, well.
I have seen Inception.
I do think it's falling, though. I mean, you can see it start to wobble in a way that's like it's going to fall if the camera didn't stop. It's not like other times where it just spins forever that we see.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. We're not here talking about the movie, though. My fun fact about the song, it's built on a simple 4-chord progression and became one of the most licensed modern film cues in trailers worldwide. Tons of other trailers have used this song.
I believe that. Kind of an icon.
But now we got a new entry into the bracket. A new artist, a composer, if you will, Lauren Balfe.
Yeah.
Did the entire Mission Impossible Fallout soundtrack, especially Stairs and Rooftops, that's used during a chase scene that takes place over multiple stairs and rooftops, hence the name.
Yeah, of course.
And my fun fact here is that Balfe weaved fragments of Lalo Schifrin's original Mission Impossible TV theme rhythm into the cue without directly quoting it.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
A lot of drums on Stairs and Rooftops. I haven't seen Mission Impossible, haven't seen Mission Impossible Fallout, but it is a classic chase sequence kind of song.
Yeah, and I mean, and you can see how it like drives that scene forward. I can imagine if you had that, but without the music, and it was just them running and like punching and jumping.
Well, that's just it. It would still be watching them run and jump and punch. But I think time really adds a lot more to the scene it's in. Whereas Stairs and Rooftops is a great accent, time really makes or breaks the moment. Because otherwise you got Luke Skywalker staring at the sun again, right? This is just, you're watching this top spin. You need some sort of emotional anchor.
I kind of agree with that sentiment that like the top spinning itself specifically. I guess the difference is, for me, Stairs and Rooftops, it's a chase scene doesn't work without chase scene music. Like, the only reason chase scenes work and are interesting to watch,
debatable,
is usually because because your heart is like racing with it. The music is designed to get your blood pumping as if you're there running and chasing with them.
That's true.
So I went with Stairs and Rooftops because I think this one does a really good job of lining up with like the jumps and the turns of corners and the punches. The music lines up in a way that for an artist who I'd never even heard of, I think Lauren Balfe does a really good job.
Yeah, time isn't as coordinated as like synced to the action. That's for sure.
To me, Time is just, don't get me wrong, Time as a song is iconic. But in terms of the scene, I think any music would do. Like, I wouldn't want there to be a different song.
Stairs and Rooftops wouldn't do.
You're right. Fair point.
That'd be funny.
But, you know, I wouldn't want it to be a different song because Time is awesome. But as long as there was some sort of music playing, I think the scene reads exactly the same. Whereas Stairs and Rooftop, the song was sculpted for that scene in a way that I really like. So that's what I went with. Sounds like you went the other way.
Well, I went with Time. So one of us is about to be wrong.
Yeah, one of us is about to take the lead.
I worry that it's going to be me who's wrong.
0.08 points is what this one came down to.
Oh my gosh.
And Stairs and Rooftops is moving on by 0.08 points.
That is sad.
An upset based on the seeding. 6 beats a 3.
That's a bummer, but I get it.
Real bummer.
Yeah, I'm not big on chase music.
Yeah, not your kind of thing. I get it.
No, yeah, it was a little bit of personal preference creeping in maybe.
Our next matchup, though, heavy on personal preference for me. It's time for the superheroes to assemble as the engines roar. We've got Portals by Alan Silvestri from Avengers Endgame versus Storm is Coming by Junkie XL from Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, one very heroic, very optimistic, one very tense and very stressful.
And one that's a chase scene, but for cars.
Yeah, that's true.
This is our first Alan Silvestri on the bracket.
So it is.
If we're eliminating John Williams, just because he's the GOAT of modern orchestration, Alan Silvestri is probably my favorite composer.
Interesting.
There's so many movies that Alan Silvestri has done the score for that every time I discover it, that it's him, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have known. Like, you know, he did Polar Express.
Oh, wow.
He's the guy that's done like all the Avengers movies scores, also did Polar Express. And then as we'll see in our next region, like things like Forrest Gump, you know, he's been all over the place.
That's true. I love the portal scene in Avengers Endgame is one for the ages. You had decades of build-up, maybe a decade, to get to it. And I don't know, you're never going to have anything like that in a movie again.
Yeah.
They were pushing it with Endgame, I thought. And this whole, everything past is fallen off. But man, the build-up to Endgame is unparalleled. So what a moment of like catharsis.
To me, the movie Endgame is kind of like our version of, but like not failing, our version of like Star Wars Episode 1 coming out. You know, there had been the original trilogy that was super popular. There was all this hype for what was next, all this wait and anticipation.
Yeah.
And all this build up for that generation. Except then a lot of people didn't like Episode 1, though it's kind of become a favorite in retrospect. But Avengers Endgame was like our version of that, but like successful. And to me, the song Portals, yeah, it perfectly is sculpted for that scene. I mean, all the cues that build up the epic moment, the way the music cuts out for a second for Steve Rogers to say, finally, after like 21 movies, Avengers Assemble. Like, they teased that moment through every movie. He never officially had said it. They always cut it off before he could say it, like in end-credit scenes. And then the music just launches into the big epic Avengers theme song partway into the song as the two armies clash and collide. It's awesome. My fun fact for this one, it's also the first time the full Avengers theme plays in its entirety.
In the movie or in the franchise?
In the franchise.
Wow.
He had used bits and pieces of the Avengers theme in like pivotal scenes and stuff and like credits, but never the full original score that he wrote way back for the original Avengers movie. He delayed it all the way to this exact moment to use the full. So what you hear at the second half of Portals is the full Avengers theme.
That's amazing.
So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Waited till they actually assembled.
Storm is Coming, Junkie XL, Mad Max Fury Road. bunch of cars doing like a car battle chase scene thing. Junkie XL used heavily distorted guitars layered with the orchestra to mirror the mechanical brutality of the world. I'm not a big Mad Max guy.
I've never seen it.
And I was a huge Avengers guy.
I have seen it. Avengers, that is, not Mad Max. It does sound like a storm is coming. There's kind of siren-y sounds in there. It's very mechanical.
We talked about Mad Max with Tina Turner.
We did talk about Tina Turner and Mad Max. You're right. That's wild. I forgot about that. She got stuck on a horse. Or she didn't. I don't remember if that was a fact or a spin. But for me, I went Portals easily.
Easily.
The moment of Portals is incomparable, and Mad Max does their best here, but I don't know anything about this scene in the context of the movie. It's a great action scene.
The scene aside, Portals is a song that is on my movie scores playlist that I'll put on in the car when I just want to listen to like movie score songs that I really like. Portals is the only Marvel song on that playlist. And sometimes I just go right to it. I skip the whole playlist. I'm just like, I'm in the mood for Portals. Let's go.
Yeah.
So well crafted. And the audience agrees. Landslide victory for Portals here in the first round.
Yeah, Portal's easy.
Our final matchup of the first round for Region 2. We've got 1.21 gigawatts of laughter. It's Like a Dog Chasing Cars by Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard from The Dark Knight versus The Clock Tower by Alan Silvestri from Back to the Future. He's back.
He sure is. To the future.
Back to the Future to do Avengers Endgame from way back.
Now, I have seen both of these movies. What do you know?
You were not a fan of The Dark Knight.
I didn't care for the Dark Knight trilogy very much.
Action movie, not surprised.
I should probably give them another shot. I was a big Batman fan growing up.
Yeah, and you're a huge, like 80s Batman, whimsical Batman.
No, 60s Batman. Thank you.
60s Batman. My apologies.
Yeah, Like a Dog Chasing Cars. It's a Batmobile run. Classic.
The score gets its title from the Joker's line where he says he's like a dog chasing a car. He wouldn't know what to do if he actually caught one.
Yeah.
And it's a car chase scene, so it just kind of works out.
It's very dramatic.
My fun fact here, the Joker's musical motif often relied on a single distorted note that was scraped with a razor blade across the strings.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. That's how they made his motif.
That's pretty cool. Well, I do like it. It feels very Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly like it better divorced from the context of the scene. To listen to the song on its own, like I'm doing right now in my headphones,
pretty cool.
it just feels heroic.
Yeah.
The clock tower, that's the stressful one out of this pair.
It is. It's
Doc's up there trying to get everything wired up, and Marty's coming in the DeLorean, and it's just all got to hit the right gigawatts. And,
there's a big storm.
oh, it's intense.
The timing's gotta be perfect. It's intense, but there's also like this hopeful 80s joyfulness going on with like the bum 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 bum. It's like a weird blending of Region 1 and then our tension building region.
Yeah.
Fun fact for this one, Silvestri built this cue around a ticking rhythmic motif to mirror the literal clock that's in danger as they're trying to connect all the chords and actually have the lightning hit it. So that's why it feels so stressful, because it's literally ticking by.
Yeah, well, not only that, but there's also moments that sound like an alarm clock going off and moments that sound like bell chimes.
Mm-hmm.
There's chaotic piano notes. It's just a really well-done song.
I love the Back to the Future soundtrack in general.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not ready for that yet, but my kids are going to love it.
Have you seen any of the other Back to the Future movies or just the first one?
No, just the first one.
Oh, wow.
And it is conceptually weird.
It's very weird.
John Mulaney does a bit about it. He's right. It's a very weird movie.
Yeah, I've seen the original movie a long time ago. I recently rewatched the movie like in the last 2 months because then I went and saw the stage musical version of the movie.
Oh.
Which, if you thought the movie was weird, imagine trying to add a bunch more songs to it to turn it into a musical.
Yeah.
But it was very well done. I actually quite enjoyed it. And I liked it so much, I picked The Clock Tower over Like a Dog Chasing Cars.
Oh, wow. And a surprising twist for me, because I do like the movie Back to the Future, and I claimed to not enjoy the Dark Knight trilogy. I did pick Like a Dog Chasing Cars. Wow. I think it fits the scene that it's in very well. It fits Batman to a T. Comparatively, very enjoyable song. So one of us is getting another point here, or losing another point here, depending on who's talking.
We're either about to tie back up or my lead grows. Let's see what the audience had to say. Oh, man, the lead grows. A lot of Back to the Future fans, apparently, in the chat. This was not even close. Almost a 3-point differential.
Wow. That's wild. That's unfortunate. Going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, let's keep the region running, though, with Desert Chase from Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark up against Stairs and Rooftops from Mission Impossible Fallout.
Okay, well, I had time going into this slot, but we're comparing chase sequences here. One of these chase sequences it's iconic, and the other one, it seems like every chase sequence ever.
Not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. If you're picking a chase sequence, how do you not go with Desert Chase?
Yes, and I even picked Desert Chase over time. So, yeah, that's the one I had moving on.
Oh, okay. So you have a chance to... Time didn't hurt you too bad, just missing 1 point.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bracket buster.
No, thank goodness.
Well, thank goodness indeed, because the audience agrees Desert Chase continues on down the bracket.
To the Elite Eight.
And now for what was my toughest choice of the entire bracket.
Really?
Portals from Avengers Endgame against the Clock Tower from Back to the Future.
Remarkable.
Both songs perfectly crafted for their scenes. Both songs big, memorable, fun to listen to. But in what felt wrong in my head and a little bit in my heart, but yet I did it anyways, I went with the Clock Tower.
That's wild.
And here's why. I think Portals and the Avengers Endgame scene that it's used in are relying so much so on the 20 films that came before it to build to that moment.
Oh, too much fan service.
Whereas the Clock Tower did it in 2 hours. In 2 hours, it built up to this epic moment that's like rivaling something that took 20 movies, you know?
Yes.
And so for that reason, I gave the edge to the Clock Tower.
I like that argument because you're right. The Clock Tower, suspension of disbelief about the physics of this universe aside, it's a very realistic moment. Portals, even if you consider that it would be possible, what are they just gonna, they're just standing there. It's a lot of people standing there for the duration as everyone emerges from their own portal. Like, they're not all gonna fight. It's a very, out of character moment for the movie. A moment where it feels like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, and the bad guys just sit there and watch as all these portals open and let them assemble.
Yeah, what in the world? That would not be what happens at all. I'd be snapping my fingers. Come on, get out of here. Go back. Okay. And also, this is a pet peeve about the movie and not the soundtrack. Really frustrating that they went, oh no, we're not going to do any time travel in Avengers Endgame. We're going to do dimension travel instead, where we go back in time, but it's not really going back in time. That really annoyed me.
It's going back in time to other dimensions.
But I still picked Portals.
You picked Portals?
Yeah.
I picked Clock Tower, and I'm fully prepared to be wrong here. And yet I wasn't.
No way.
The audience went with the Clock Tower.
That might bust a little bit of my bracket.
Almost a whole point difference. We have a lot of Back to the Future fans, apparently.
Oh, man, that stings.
I was fully ready to be wrong, and I kind of wasn't even going to be upset if I was wrong, because I love Portals so much, too. But the Clock Tower from Back to the Future moves on to the Elite Eight and goes up against John Williams' Desert Chase. Now we're down to 2 car scenes again.
Yeah, we are. I had Portals moving on, and so I picked Portals over Desert Chase. I think in the battle between Desert Chase and the Clock Tower, I'm taking Desert Chase.
Wow. But you had Portals beating out Desert Chase even.
I did. Yeah, I did. I love Desert Chase. And retrospectively, probably I should have been a little more on the side of Desert Chase. But I don't know. I was just thinking about Portals, all the build up to it.
No, I completely agree. Portals beats Desert Chase as a song. I think the Indiana Jones theme is more iconic than Desert Chase. So I'm okay with Portals beating Desert Chase out there.
Yeah, that's true.
But I also think the Clock Tower is a better car sequence song than Desert Chase. And so I went with the Clock Tower again.
What are you doubling down?
I had the Clock Tower winning Adventure in Action.
Wow. I took Portals to the end. I suspect we'll see Desert Chase there instead.
All the way to the end or just to the end of this region?
But to the end of this region for now.
Oh, okay.
No spoilers like that.
You think we'll see what? Desert Chase here is what you think?
I do think we'll see Desert Chase move on.
Well, this, looking at the audience scores, is the one that tied the Jurassic Park Star Wars .04 difference.
So close.
There's .04 points separating Desert Chase from the Clock Tower. And get ready to kiss your mother, because the Clock Tower takes it.
No way.
The clock tower, Alan Silvestri, Back to the Future, winning the adventure in action. What an upset. A 7 seed winning the region.
Again, the audience voted on all this. This is not us picking. That's wild.
Yeah, this is nuts. I was fully prepared to be wrong.
That is a big upset.
Now, you did have the composer right, Alan Silvestri. You just had the wrong Alan Silvestri song.
That's true. And I did have the slot right.
Yeah, but ultimately, point to me there. Which actually means... I haven't been paying attention to my own bracket here. I'm perfect for the entire upper half of the bracket?
Yes.
Did I get them all right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Against all odds.
Well, let's see how the bottom goes.
I'm not surprised I fumbled a few times on action and adventure. That makes sense to me.
Are we ready to move on to the Tear Duct Titans?
Oh, so sad. Yes.
Got your tissues ready?
I literally might need them for some of these.
Yeah, there's some sad ones in here. For sure.
Tell me about the play-in winner. I hope I'm right.
So, our play-in region. It's time to grab the tissues and maybe a flotation device, because we're opening this region up with Romance versus Remembrance. We've got Rose by James Horner from Titanic going up against our play-in winner, Flying Theme by John Williams from E.T.
You scared me. Romance versus Remembrance. It sounded a lot more like Hymn to the Fallen. I was like, no way. I definitely picked the Flying Theme from E.T. to play in.
Well, Remembrance worked for both because, he has to, E.T. leaves to go home, and it's sad.
Okay, that's a stretch.
Like, I won't forget you.
Very different Remembrance vibes than Hymn to the Fallen.
Yeah.
It works out because I haven't seen Saving Private Ryan, even though I feel like I'd like it.
Oh, yeah, you would like that one.
I have seen E.T., and I've seen most of Titanic. I watched Titanic for about 2.5 hours, then they hit the iceberg, and then I also had to leave for something. But I was like, okay, it's been 2.5 hours. They still have 2 hours left, and I already know how this is going to end. So I walked away, and I never finished it. But who doesn't know a lot about Titanic anyway?
Yeah.
Kind of two flying themes going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. They're both used in flying scenes, aren't they? That's funny. The Rose theme from Titanic, it's used in that iconic I'm flying scene when they're on the ship mast thing. My fun fact is Horner initially wrote this love theme without lyrics, and the My Heart Will Go On lyrics were added later, built on that melody.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then for the flying theme, it's used in both bicycle flight scenes set in the movie. The first one when he first does it, and then the ending one when they're all doing it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I've only seen E.T. one time too, and it was forever ago. Probably like 2008, Connor, watching E.T.
Wow. It's a classic.
It is. I see him every time I watch Star Wars episode. What is it? Is it episode 1 or 2 that E.T.'s hanging out in the Senate?
Yeah, they sneak him in there a little bit.
But my fun fact for it is that, or for EAT.
Goodness.
That was stupid.
Your fun fact for E.T.
My fun fact for Spielberg re-edited the scene.
Re-edited
the scene after hearing John Williams' cue, letting the music dictate the pace of the scene.
Oh, wow, they did the opposite then.
Yeah, they did the opposite on this one. John Williams did the music, and then Spielberg said, you know what? Let's line it up.
That's interesting. Well, tough call here. I took the flying theme, but probably I should have taken Rose. I think that one might get more fan service, like the audience would vote it.
That's nuts. Taking the 8 seed over the 1 seed? That was your...
The flying theme is iconic.
Hey, every March Madness bracket, you got to pick one upset. This is the one you picked? Bold.
Yeah, sure. I like the flying theme.
The Titanic Rose theme song is so iconic that there was a whole meme era where people were taking it and putting it over other songs or other movie scenes.
Yeah.
I went with Rose.
But the E.T. theme, that one went to the whole film company, right? Didn't they use that as their kind of tag for a while?
Ooh, that is true. I didn't consider that fact. It kind of grew beyond the movie. So maybe it has some audience legs I didn't consider.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's another situation where the flying theme rouses a lot more emotion. Like to watch the kids fly on a bicycle, you're going to be like, huh? If there's no epic score to go with it. You could watch them hug on a boat kind of to any music.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
But I will admit the flying scene does seem kind of awkward if you got rid of all music.
Yeah, it's very awkward if you get rid of the music. I'm going on a cruise here in the near future, and I'll let you know if it works.
Well, unfortunately, they don't let you get right out up there on the bow. But
who said anything about letting me?
you know, you could sneak up there if you're brave. Don't do that.
Let's check in with the audience. What did they pick?
Come on, E.T. flying theme.
E.T. phone home and asked to be picked up because you've been kicked out of the tournament.
Rats.
Rose moves on.
Not surprising, but disappointing.
It was honestly close. It was close. Less than half a point. Another vote or two in the other way.
Yeah.
But our second matchup, we've got Cathedral Organ versus Drifting Piano. It's a docking sequence versus a Destiny by Feather. It's No Time for Caution by Hans Zimmer from Interstellar versus the Feather Theme by Alan Silvestri from Forrest Gump.
Have not seen Interstellar. Get that out of the way right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good one. You should watch it.
Yeah, I know. I should. And it was in IMAX the other year. I should have seen it, but I did not. Heard a lot of good things. And really interesting song. Love Forrest Gump, though. I mean, Forrest Gump, history nerd, Tom Hanks fan, great movie all around.
History nerd. Toy Story is one of your favorite movies ever. It's got Tom Hanks in it.
Yeah, what can I say? Big win.
I also big fan of Forrest Gump.
I did take No Time for Caution.
Whoa, you took No Time for Caution. Me too.
Yeah, you were about to say you also.
Yeah. I like the feather theme from Forrest Gump.
I do too.
It's used in the opening and closing feather sequences. But for me, that's all it's really used in, and so it just didn't drive the scene enough for me. My fun fact for it, though, is that the minimalist piano line was intentionally left simple to mirror Forrest's perspective on life.
Like a box of chocolates. Kept simple.
But No Time for Caution is just such a cool... It's Hans Zimmer at his finest. I mean, it's one of his most iconic songs.
It's captivating. Yeah, the vibe is awesome.
Yeah, it really sets the intensity for that docking sequence. I have seen a version of this scene where they've put, like, you know, merry-go-round fun carnival music over it when they're, like, spinning, trying to do the dock, and it's hilarious.
Well, that's fun.
I couldn't find it, though, when I went looking for it, but I have seen it. My fun fact for No Time for Caution, the pipe organ was recorded at London's Temple Church to create that cathedral-like scale.
That's awesome. That is it's a really big sound. I haven't seen either of them, and sometimes in my head I frequently mix up Interstellar and Gravity, the one where Sandra Bullock just floats through space or whatever.
Yeah. I know a lot of people mix up Interstellar and, The Martian or something.
Oh, I did read The Martian. I haven't seen the movie, but Matt Damon's in the movie.
Well, the reason people mix it up, I think, mainly is that Matt Damon's in both Interstellar and The Martian.
Hey, spoilers.
Yeah, well, he's a more, I guess I wouldn't say minor character, but he's not like the lead. Obviously, Matthew McConaughey is the lead.
All right. Well, either way, I like No Time for Caution. I like the tension. I like the intensity.
Yeah, so it sounds like we both went with No Time for Caution.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What did the audience say? Wow! The audience went with the feather theme from Forrest Gump. That's my first miss.
Oh, and what a one to miss on. I thought the feather theme was quaint, but kind of unremarkable.
Yeah.
You don't walk away from the movie going, oh, the feather theme.
I know. I thought that was an easy pick.
You thought wrong.
Man, if that's the only one I missed, I'll be sad. I disagree with the audience on that one. But I don't get to make the results. We gotta live with it. And move on to Lion Royalty versus Philadelphia Underdog. One has a savannah, the other has stairs, I guess.
Yeah.
It's time for The King of Pride Rock by Hans Zimmer from The Lion King versus Going the Distance by Bill Conti from Rocky.
Yeah, a pair of 10s for me in this round. I've seen both movies. I love them both.
Pair of 10s.
The Lion King, King of Pride Rock, is such an epic moment.
It is.
It's such a triumphant sound. The theme, like, it fits the setting perfectly. It's very well done and very tailored to its story.
Yeah.
The Rocky theme is the quintessential training montage. It's the song when you're doing a self-improvement montage, a workout thing. It's what you think of.
Yep.
You think of something like what they do in Rocky. And they hit the nail on the head. They pulled it off. For me, the difference comes down to duration. The King of Pride Rock is an awesome moment, but it's kind of quick at the tail end of the movie. You kind of blink and you miss the impact of the song. There's so much other stuff happening, like visually, like you talked about the dialogue and the visuals and stuff. All that stuff kind of pulls you away from focusing in big on the song. Whereas the opposite is true in Rocky, right? All the dialogue's gone. It's just him running. The movie kind of becomes very simple while the score's playing underneath it. It's a very extended duration that you listen to the song for like the whole time and you're with it the whole time.
The music is the thing keeping your attention, because otherwise you're just watching a dude run for 10 minutes.
Which is hilarious, but I gave it to Going the Distance for that, extended moment in our focus.
Okay.
And for being, again, the quintessential training montage.
This was another really tough one for me. I agree, kind of 2 10s if I were to rank them. My fun fact for Going the Distance, the theme was written before filming for the movie even began.
Wow.
And they did the choreography for the training montage around the music. So the training montage was built to fit with the song.
Nice.
So that's cool.
Probably why it works so well.
For King of Pride Rock, I was hesitant to even put this one on the bracket. I purposely was avoiding musicals because that's a whole nother beast.
Beast. Lion King.
When it comes to music in movies, movie musicals are their own thing and may be subject for a future March Madness bracket.
Ooh.
But this song in particular, The King of Pride Rock, is a notable moment where they still put a score into the movie, so I felt it was okay to use, and it's a good one. My fun fact here, Hans Zimmer incorporated African chorus elements to ground the score in its authentic tonal color. So he was working in a medium he's not too familiar with. It's also just crazy that Hans Zimmer, Elton John, what a stacked composition team.
Yeah.
I gave it to The King of Pride Rock ultimately because this is the emotional heart category, and I just feel like The King of Pride Rock tugs on my emotions a little more than Going the Distance did.
Well, that's true. That's a fair point. But I'm sticking by Going the Distance for now.
Well, that's good because you don't get to change your answer.
Well, we'll see how I feel after the audience reveals their score.
The audience, they say Hakuna Matata, and The King of Pride Rock moves on.
Unbelievable. I'm striking out in this region.
You haven't gotten a single one right,
No.
have you?
No.
You thought you were going to be better at the action ones.
Well, yeah, I thought I was. Turns out.
Well, you got one more opportunity to earn some points here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your entire region is a bust.
Yeah, it is. It might be.
It does make me feel good about my chances to win.
Yeah. It might already be over for me with the amount that I've already missed. You'd have to tank.
I could completely fumble the Fear and Tension one, but yeah.
Well, I think I got at least one in the bag here.
Okay, our last matchup in the first round of Region 3. We got 4 minutes of animated heartbreak versus historical devastation.
Yeah, these are both very sad.
It's Married Life by Michael Giacchino. I feel so bad when I have to do last names that I don't know.
Yeah, I call it Giacchino.
Giacchino?
Yeah.
That's what we'll go with. Michael Giacchino from the movie Up versus Immolation by John Williams from Schindler's List.
Yeah, Schindler, this is the two absolutely saddest movies on this entire side of the list. The Lion King's not exactly a tearjerker. Titanic, I guess, kind of is. E.T., it pulls at the heartstrings. But, Schindler's List and Up.
Woo!
They're two of the saddest movies on this entire bracket.
Ooh, yeah. Married Life, it's the opening montage for the film where you think you're about to watch this really cute story about this couple that's growing old and wanting to go on an adventure together. And then the wife up and dies halfway through the montage.
Incredible piece of storytelling.
Yeah, what a setup to a movie. The cue cycles through waltz variations to represent the different stages of Carl and Ellie's life. That's my fun fact for that one.
Yeah, and it's well done. The versatility of the arrangement is really what's striking about Married Life.
Mm-hmm. That sad little motif that comes in when she's in the hospital and everything. That's been used in all sorts of stuff since the movie.
Yeah.
Immolation, though, John Williams, Up Again, Schindler's List, another rough movie. This song specifically is used in the film's final emotional sequence, kind of a montage of its own at the end of the movie. And my fact for this one, it reprises the central violin theme with increased orchestral weight to represent a collective memory instead of individual ones.
Oh, interesting. That's very cool. Once again, I've seen both movies, of course. I had to give it to the theme from Up. Immolation is horrifically sad. The whole movie is just so weighty and so much. And it's really well done. I just think that one is purely like eliciting emotion. Whereas, like you say, Married Life, it's a storytelling song, and as the song progresses, the story unfolds with the different ways that they present the theme to you.
Yeah, the Immolation's just going for pure heart punch, whereas Married Life is still punching you pretty hard in the heart, but it's also telling a story. And so I agree, I went with Married Life.
Yeah, that was a 10 from me. I picked it to move on, and I hope it'll be my right pick from this corner of the bracket.
It is indeed. No goose egg for you.
Thank goodness.
Married Life moves on, just like Carl has to when he goes on his adventure.
Yes. The rest of this corner of the bracket, you could pretty much just tell me about, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. Not a lot to really talk about. We're moving on back up to, we got Rose from Titanic going against the feather theme from Forrest Gump. I did not have the Forrest theme here. You had neither here.
I did not. I had the flying theme against No Time for Caution. I took the E.T. flying theme again.
Oh, wow. In that matchup, I probably would have gone Interstellar. No Time for Caution. Again, that's just Hans Zimmer at the height of his influence.
Yeah, fair.
But in this matchup, Rose versus what I had was No Time for Caution. I took Rose from Titanic.
So you still have a shot.
I do still have a shot.
Between the two, I would also take Rose.
No, sorry. I took No Time for Caution. I looked at my bracket wrong.
A lie. Wonderful. Whole thing's null and void.
So yeah, don't have a shot here either. Let's just kind of see what the audience said. Oh, audience went with Rose.
Yeah, that would have been my pick between that one and the feather theme. Honestly, would have been my pick over No Time for Caution as well.
Yeah, I agree. But not over flying theme. Interesting.
No, I like the flying theme. What's wrong? It's good.
Who would have thought the ballads would be where the ballad guy struggled?
Not I.
Our last one, the King of Pride Rock, Hans Zimmer, the Lion King, versus Married Life from Up.
Yeah, I had Going the Distance here. I took Married Life instead of that. I would probably take Married Life instead of the King of Pride Rock.
Wow, Married Life over King of Pride Rock. I went with King of Pride Rock. I have Hans Zimmer going against Hans Zimmer in the finals here. I took King of Pride Rock.
Well, enjoy being wrong.
Let's see what the audience had to say. I do enjoy being right. The King of Pride Rock moves on.
That's another painful bracket moment for me.
You had Married Life moving on?
I did.
That is a shame.
Against Going the Distance, which I think we can all agree was right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But to round out the emotional heart region, our Tear Duct Titans of the King of Pride Rock going against Rose from Titanic. I have a shot here because I went with the King of Pride Rock.
Nothing I have chosen remains in this corner of the bracket. I chose Married Life over the flying theme, if that helps correct your opinion of me.
It does.
Thank you.
To me, the Married Life theme and King of Pride Rock are the two best in this region. It was sad to see them up against one another.
I would take the King of Pride Rock over Top of Rose.
So you'd be in agreement with me?
Yeah.
Let's see. The audience is in agreement with both of us. That is King of Pride Rock being the Tear Duct Titan champion.
Wow. That Final Four.
Yeah, which gives us just a little quick recap of who's in our Final Four so far. We've got John Williams in here with Binary Sunset from Star Wars. Mm-hmm. We got Alan Silvestri in here with the Clock Tower from Back to the Future. And we have Hans Zimmer in here with the King of Pride Rock from The Lion King. So each of our three big hitters in terms of composers already made it to the Final Four. But who will join them from the Fear and Tension Suspense Builders?
Yeah.
As we move into this region, we have two notes going up against Existential Dread, Water versus Whisper. It's the Shark Theme by John Williams from Jaws going against our play-in winner, Beau's Death Theme from A Quiet Place by Marco Beltrami.
Wow. That means I got the play-in wrong. I picked the one from Get Out, but I haven't seen Get Out or A Quiet Place, so forgive me.
Both decent horror movies that are like unique horror movies.
Yeah, I'd like to watch them both, I think.
One's about African Americans who get hypnotized and then have their brains replaced by old white people or something weird like that.
Oh, dear. And the other one is about what happens after Jim retires from the office.
Yeah. The other one's about monsters who hunt by sound alone, so everybody has to be quiet.
I would kind of do the opposite. If we just made everything in the world so noisy all the time, probably they'd just be confused and sad. The monsters.
Oh.
So I feel like they went about it the wrong way. It should have
Well, we don't want sad monsters.
been a loud place, and they would have all survived. Having not seen it, I certainly know best.
Well, you've at least seen the scene that I put in there.
I did. And I saw the scene on Facebook or other places beforehand.
I'm really glad this one won because I think it's a really unique use of music in movies because so much of the movie is silent because it's called Quiet Place, so they don't use a lot of music. So when they do, it's very impactful.
Yeah.
And the little kid gets just completely decked by the monster at the end of the clip, and it's hilarious.
This, I don't know about hilarious.
Well, no, because I know that movies aren't real, and the kid didn't actually get decked by a monster.
Yeah, right.
I think it's just the camera work in that scene, the framing from which the angle you see that monster just kind of lunge in and just completely knock him out before it cuts to black, I find very amusing.
Yeah, that's fair.
My fun fact here, Beltrami composed large portions of the score to contrast the total silence. So there's just total silence, pretty much the entire team, and then he puts in these big composition pieces where he does get to use the music.
Wonderful. I thought it was good. I totally understand that. The quiet versus the loud. It was neat.
Yeah. My fun fact for the one I'm not even going to try to pronounce, from Get Out, it's Swahili, and the lyrics translate to "Listen to your ancestors."
Ooh. But what about Jaws, though?
But let's talk about the shark theme from Jaws. Yeah, and it used anytime the shark's approaching.
Perfect theme.
Doo-doo.
It builds so much. If you're talking about a tension builder, this is the tension building song. People use it to build tension about things that aren't even remotely related to sharks. Mm-hmm. I don't even think I've seen Jaws all the way through, and I know the Jaws theme very well.
Really? My fun fact here, when Spielberg got a copy of the score and heard the two-note motif, he thought John Williams was playing a practical joke on him.
I mean, I can see why.
You're used to this guy writing these big, epic, timed out perfectly to the sequence songs, and then he just gives you doo-doo.
Oh, funny.
Doo-doo.
But man, it really works.
That's why he's the GOAT.
It's one of the most iconic tension songs in history. I really definitely gave it to The Shark Approaches.
Absolutely. And if the audience didn't, we might have to get a new audience.
Well, I don't know about all that.
I'm not above threatening the audience.
Big shark. Big shark. Big shark, big shark, big shark, big shark.
Coming to eat you. He's hungry. Yes. Yeah, the people vote. The people are in. They like sharks. The Shark Approaches. Moving on. Not too scary for them to pick it.
Yeah, definitely an easy win there. Then we're back to another pair of films I have not seen, although I'm pretty sure I'd really like Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, another very good one. Listen, Christopher Nolan either does these crazy, like, plot twist heavy, mess with your mind films, or he does these awesome, epic stories like Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And Supermarine is an awesome song that's played during the dogfighting. My fun fact about this song. Oh, first, of course, we're in a round of aerial dogfights versus digital ambition. One is a ticking clock, the other is a silicon pulse. We got Supermarine, Hans Zimmer, Dunkirk versus In Motion by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross from The Social Network. My fun fact, though, about Supermarine is that Zimmer used the Shepard tone illusion to create a perpetual rising tension. Are you familiar with the Shepard tone illusion?
No, I don't think I am.
A Shepard tone, named after Roger Shepard, is a sound consisting of a superposition of sine waves separated by octaves. When played with the bass pitch of the tone moving upward or downward, it is referred to as the Shepard scale. This creates an auditory illusion of a tone that seems to continuously ascend or descend in pitch, yet which ultimately gets no higher or lower than where it began.
I love that.
This is a graphical illustration of what the waves are doing.
Yeah, you can hear it in there. To hear you describe it and then to listen to it, definitely.
So because of how they overlay on top of one another, it sounds like it's continuously rising, but it never actually is.
Yeah, I liked both of these.
Yeah. What'd you think of the inclusion of In Motion in the Fear and Tension suspense builders? It's a very unique song to begin with, and it really is out of its waters when we've been talking about like scary monsters and sharks and dogfighting.
Guy on a computer.
But while he's sitting there typing away and going, there's this tension that builds up as you realize he's kind of becoming obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's true. I really like it. I'm just now starting to get into Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails a little bit. I haven't listened to them before, but totally enjoyed this interpretation of like a score. Very different than the rest of them. Supermarine kind of feels like it has some of the same like qualities to it. Obviously, it's not quite as techno, but there's some synthy kind of sweeps in there that feel out of place for Dunkirk in the 1940s, but I think they still kind of really make the score. Supermarine feels intense, and the right amount of intense, too. Mm-hmm. You know, these chase sequences, like Stairs and Rooftops, they kind of try to inflate the stakes of the chase. But I think Dunkirk, this does a good job at complementing the fighting that's happening without kind of overpowering it and becoming the focus of the scene. I went with Supermarine over In Motion, even though In Motion's really unique and fun. I just think Supermarine was a really nice fit for the scene that it was in. In Motion feels a little bit out of proportion with the scene that I saw it in, not knowing the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I went with Supermarine from Dunkirk.
Okay, we matched again.
And the audience picked Supermarine.
Oh, thank goodness.
It was surprisingly closer than I thought it would be. I didn't think the audience would care for In Motion too much, even though I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too.
I actually liked The Social Network. It's crazy they're making a second one like so long after the first one. I don't really know why you need a second one, but
yeah, who knows?
Our next battle, it's Nuclear Revelation versus Border Crossing Dread. You've got the Trinity version of Can You Hear the Music from Oppenheimer versus The Beast from Sicario.
Looks like it's pronounced Sicario or
Sicario.
Sicario?
I've never known how to pronounce that one.
Look, this is one movie that I have seen and one movie that I not only haven't seen, haven't even heard of.
Oh, really?
Not at all. I don't know anything about what it's about.
It's a good movie. I just didn't know how to pronounce it. Would you like me to tell you what it's about?
Sure.
2015 movie.
Whoa, spoilers.
It's a 2015 American action crime thriller film starring Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin. And it's all about an FBI special agent who's enlisted by the government task force to bring down the leader of a powerful and brutal Mexican drug cartel. It was nominated for a lot of awards.
Gotcha.
And it actually it's a trilogy.
Oh. To me, I thought The Beast just felt like typical ambient horror suspense song. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't find too much that was very distinct about it. Trinity, on the other hand, they do incredible work with the music part before, right? You said this is a specific version of the song. Putting Can You Hear the Music in earlier really led to this incredible moment in Trinity.
Yeah.
And what's remarkable about it was during the movie, like when they build all that tension and build and build and build, and then it stops to dead silence, is one of the most well done audio moments in any movie that I've seen.
Mm-hmm. This is the other movie that earlier that I said there's another one that I walked out of the theater saying that was a great score. It was Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
They introduced Can You Hear the Music early throughout the whole movie, kind of as this overarching theme. But then they use the Trinity version, which is more suspense-driven. It's kind of got that ticking clock effect going. And then they use it again at the end of the movie as like almost more of a horror. Like, oh, what have we done?
Yeah.
You know, we're going to destroy ourselves with the nuclear bomb sort of revelation. But it's just all kind of the same song, just different elements of the score. My fun fact for Can You Hear the Music is they built the cue from violin ostinatos representing atomic vibration.
That's so interesting. It's the little things, you know?
Yeah.
You'd never, ever know that unless you specifically went and looked it up.
Yep.
But, like, that is what makes a soundtrack. That's what makes a score, is the little stuff like that that's unique and inspired by the subject.
For The Beast, the low brass and percussion were tuned to create subsonic dread was what they were aiming for. They did a special tuning. Again, you got to go with Oppenheimer. I don't know how you don't.
Yeah, they're both stressful, but I definitely went with Oppenheimer.
And so did the audience by almost 3 whole points.
Wow. We're down to our last matchup of the 32 round here.
Of the first round? Yeah. And it is a doozy. It's time for a shower curtain scare versus a staircase silhouette. We got The Murder by Bernard Herrmann from Psycho versus Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield from The Exorcist.
A movie I've seen and one I haven't. Love Psycho. Haven't seen The Exorcist. The Murder is like the quintessential suspense song. I mean, I know I said that about Jaws, but The Murder did it first by a long time.
Yeah.
It's iconic. It's instantly recognizable, even if you don't know anything about Psycho. And I found that today, a lot of people kind of don't. Everyone knows the murder and everyone knows the scene that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a song that makes the scene, makes the movie.
It is a score that is studied in like colleges and like music composition classes. People study the murder.
Yeah, I think it's called forensics.
The use of the staccato strings to create those piercing notes to mimic the stabbing motion enhances the lack of visual horror.
Yeah.
This movie came out in a time frame where you couldn't show a lot of visual horror on screen. Like if you watch the scene, it's really just a cuts back and forth between like an up and down stabbing knife and then just her in the shower like making faces.
Screaming.
Yeah, there is no actual like blood or gore or showing of the stabbing. It's all conveyed via that song. Those staccatos, ding, 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 ding.
Yep, which is incredible work. It's awesome.
Hitchcock initially wanted no music for that scene until Herman convinced him to add in that sound.
I could see no music working too, but in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Because I think no music is us watching the scene from the point of view of the killer, whereas watching with the music is us experiencing the scene from the fearful point of view of the victim.
Well, yeah, so you'd have to retool the scene to be from the killer's point of view. We see it from her point of view. She's in the shower, and then the curtain opens, and she starts getting stabbed, right?
Yep.
So, like, you'd have to almost do it from, like, oh, the camera's outside the curtain, getting closer to it, and then open stab. Right? You could make it work.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're from her point of view, you need the music.
It's incredible.
Then you got Tubular Bells, which is a really cool inclusion because it is the only song on the list that wasn't originally written for a film.
Really? It just existed and they added it to the score?
Yeah. Tubular Bells is a song from a whole album. There's a whole run. There's Tubular Bells Part 1, Tubular Bells Part 2, theme from Tubular Bells, Sailor's Hornpipe. It's a whole album of sounds, of musical melodies that Mike Oldfield put together, and the people working on the film liked it so much they wanted to use it as their horror song for the spooky haunting scenes. So it's an interesting use where it's like they just went out and found something that fit.
Yeah, I don't think much about horror when I listen to Tubular Bells. It doesn't feel very horrifying to me. At least none of the parts that I've been through. The song is like 26 minutes.
No, but then when you put it over the scenes of like creepy shadows on the top of a staircase and like Catholic priests like speaking in tongues over somebody that's like spewing pea green soup, it's there. But yeah, just on its own, it doesn't really give you that.
Not at all. I mean, I'm listening to this part around like 17 minutes and 25 seconds, and it's like a funky little guitar riff.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to match at all.
Yeah, but go watch the scene. Go watch the scene, and you'll be like, it's iconic. The Exorcist sound, people recognize it. It became a big... I mean, it's another one that is studied in horror films. The big ones, you got Psycho, you got Jaws, and you got The Exorcist that we're covering. Then you got the Halloween 5/4 time signature, which we've actually talked about, I think, before on the mixtape we brought for the Halloween 13.
Yeah.
And then you've got The Shining, are like the big five for like horror film scores.
Yeah. Well, Tubular Bells, as unassuming as it may be, it definitely, I can see if you pick the right places that song, how it would work.
It's the repetitive, hypnotic quality of the song that then contrasts with the film's chaotic and terrifying events. And then you get these moments where it just plays do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah. I also have to say, I didn't realize The Exorcist was so old.
Oh, yeah, 1973. It was before everything but Psycho on that list I just named. It was Psycho, then The Exorcist.
What's the one that came out?
Because Jaws was 75.
There's one with a title like The Exorcist that's more recent.
Couldn't tell you.
What am I thinking of?
No idea.
Maybe I'm mixing it up with The Conjuring or Insidious?
Oh, The Conjuring, yep, sure. Insidious, yep. Good franchises. Definitely more recent franchises.
Yeah, I think those are what I'm thinking of. Either way, I went with Psycho, and it wasn't particularly close for me.
Yeah, you gotta go with Psycho.
It's a song so important to its movie that we're just calling it by the movie's title instead of the murder, because that's just the Psycho song.
Yep, and the audience agrees. We got a bunch of psychos in the chat. Psycho moves on.
I would guess our Sweet 16 in this bracket's going to be pretty quick.
I'm perfect in this one so far. Again.
Me too.
You got The Shark Approaches from Jaws versus Supermarine, Dunkirk.
Yeah, I like Supermarine, but Jaws is Jaws.
Doo-doo.
Okay. Yeah, I picked Jaws to move on here.
I also picked Jaws.
Just Dunkirk's at a disadvantage. I don't know the movie at all, really. I mean, I know of it, but Jaws.
Yeah, but I know them both, and Jaws, it's on a whole nother level. And the audience, once again, agrees. It's The Shark Approaches. Moving on.
Okay. No, I guess I could see some shaking up in this round here.
Yep, because up next we got the Trinity scene for Can You Hear the Music from Oppenheimer versus The Murder from Psycho. I went with Can You Hear the Music. Again, don't get me wrong, The Murder, iconic song, but Oppenheimer just left me with this sense of, I was thinking about that score for weeks after I saw that movie.
Yeah, but people have been thinking about the Psycho score for years.
I know. I'm just saying the personal bias maybe crept in here. You know, I can see how The Murder is more like genre defining, like historically significant score.
Yeah.
But it could be some recency bias creeping in as well. But I went with Oppenheimer.
I did the opposite. I went with the historically significant. I went with the genre defining. I went with The Murder.
Wow. Well, I can tell you that an hour before the polls closed, you would have been right. Psycho had a commanding lead. But the last minute votes that came in swung it the other way, and Oppenheimer moves on.
Oh, wow. That's surprising, but a little bit. You know, I get it, but the Psycho song is incredible.
Just completely swapped the scores around. Because I had kind of taken a little peek as I was getting prepared for the episode and was sad to see that I had missed there. And then was surprised pleasantly by the end result.
Wow.
But we move into our final matchup of the suspense builders. We've got The Shark Approaches by John Williams versus Can You Hear the Music by Oppenheimer. You would have had The Murder here. What did you pick?
It was a tough call between The Murder and The Shark Approaches. I went with the one that really invented the suspense genre of music, and I picked The Murder again.
Wow, The Murder.
If I'm taking it up against Trinity,
Oppenheimer,
Jaws versus Oppenheimer, that's a hard choice. But I'm going to lean Jaws because the song is so iconic that it stands alone. Plus, it's sing-alongable. Good luck singing along to Trinity.
I also went with Jaws, mainly one because, it's sing-alongable, it's catchy, it gets stuck in your head. But also, it did such a good job that it made the world's most ridiculously fake-looking shark scary. To the point that, people, like beach businesses were going out of business when Jaws came out. And when you watch that movie, it is such a fake shark. I don't get why people were scared. And it must be because of the music. So I went with The Shark Approaches. Which is sad because I kind of wanted to go with Oppenheimer so that I would have 4 different composers in my final 4. Because going with Jaws gives me 2 John Williams. But I just think it was the better song.
I had 4 different composers in my final 4.
Well, I'm glad I went with it because so did the audience. The Shark Approaches goes into the final 4 as the Fear and Tension champion.
Wow, I picked The Murder. I took it all the way to the final 4.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we've got John Williams with Binary Sunset from Star Wars. We've got Alan Silvestri with The Clock Tower from Back to the Future, the underdog pick. We got Hans Zimmer, the King of Pride Rock from The Lion King. And we've got John Williams again with The Shark Approaches from Jaws. Our first battle is going to be Binary Suns versus the King of Pride Rock.
Yeah, well, I had Binary Sunset versus Married Life, but even against the King of Pride Rock, I mean, I'm taking whole film into account. Can't touch Star Wars. The Lion King cannot touch just the generational power of the Star Wars score.
I agree.
The Lion King is great. Star Wars, the Force is with it.
Yeah.
So I picked Binary Sunset to move on to the finals.
I do as well. I mean, just that generational power. Just the song. I mean, both, like you said, Lion King's kind of fast. It kind of goes by fast. Binary Sunset just is this big moment that doesn't pass you by. There's not a lot of other stuff going on. You're able to focus it on the song.
It's deliberately slow, in fact.
Yeah. So I went Binary Sunset. I know there's a lot of Disney fans in the audience. So
well, so then either one works. They're both Disney now.
Yeah, hey, that's fair. I can tell you all 4 tracks that made it to the final 4 scored an 8 or higher by the audience.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's close.
Yeah. We didn't have a single 9, though. So there was enough audience differences going on that nothing got up into the 9s. They're all within a point of one another here. And the winner is Binary Sunset.
Ugh, to the finals.
The lion has been dethroned.
The lion has been, yeah, that's true. Shot a torpedo right down the lion's jaw.
Play some mind tricks on him. And then our other Final Four matchup, we got the Clock Tower from Back to the Future against the Shark Approaches.
Yeah.
Neither track you had here.
No, I had Portals versus The Murder, and I really doubled down on The Murder.
Wow.
The suspense building was so awesome. It stands at the top of its class. I mean, people study it.
Yeah.
You said yourself.
Yeah, people also study Jaws.
The Murder makes the scene. Portals is a scene that, has a lot of merit, has a great score to it, but the scene is not made by the song.
Sure.
The Murder makes the movie.
I actually agree with you. In that matchup, I would take The Murder over Portals.
Yeah.
But in my matchup, Jaws versus Portals, I probably take Jaws over Portals.
I would too.
But Jaws versus the Clock Tower.
Don't you tell me you did the Clock Tower again.
You better believe. Hey, you wrote The Murder all the way. I wrote the underdog story. All right.
The DeLorean.
I took the DeLorean all the way to the finals. I got Clock Tower taking out the Shark.
That's wild and so wrong.
It's such a good song. It's just so well crafted. The highs, the low, the intensity, the uplift.
Yeah, but it's not Jaws.
Yeah, but they're both iconic, just in completely different ways.
Yeah, in the way that everybody in the world knows one of them, and most people who are fans of the movie don't know the other one.
I don't know about that. Well, let's see if the audience agrees with you.
I mean, I had the wrong thing here. I don't even agree with me, but let's see what's up.
Well, just with your opinion on Jaws versus Back to the Future, let's see if the audience agrees with you.
Yeah.
And they sure don't. The
What?
Clock Tower.
What?
Back to the Future. Underdog story. Going all the way to the finals.
The Clock Tower from Back to the Future made it to the finals? Great Scott.
It sure did. Great Scott indeed.
What on earth?
This just goes to show that we don't get control over this.
No, not at all. It's fun, though. It's fun to put it in the audience's hands. I like this new and improved voting system.
Yeah, I mean, I got it right, so I guess I would have put it here. But it still doesn't, even though I picked it, it doesn't feel right.
Yep.
But now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the final showdown.
This March Madness.
Binary Sunset. John Williams, Star Wars, against underdog Cinderella story, The Clock Tower from Back to the Future.
It'd be wild if Jaws did win and we just had John Williams versus John Williams.
Wouldn't be surprising with how, I mean, he was in every category.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I really don't think the Clock Tower should even be here, which is not a very sports commentator-like thing to say.
No.
They really have been a Cinderella story, whereas Star Wars, I feel like, was kind of the clear favorite from the jump.
Yeah. I think it shocks nobody that Star Wars is sitting here in the final matchup.
It's probably a big part of the reason why I got the top left part of the bracket perfect.
And it apparently doesn't shock the majority of our voters, but it shocks a lot of people. Big shock to see Back to the Future sitting here.
A little bit.
It's kind of like making the heavyweight champion go up against the featherweight.
Yeah, flashback to the Rocky song. Well, in this final matchup, Binary Sunset versus the Clock Tower, I picked the Clock Tower. No, I'm just kidding. I took Star Wars. I took it all the way to the end.
Of course, of course.
It was my only hope.
And it's my hope as well. I, too, went with Binary Suns. There's two of them.
Yeah, two suns.
Two is better than one. Think about how many gigawatts there are in
two suns. Yeah. I hope the audience went with us. If the Clock Tower wins this bracket, I'll be flabbergasted, gobsmacked, flummoxed.
The winner is Binary Sunset by John Williams.
Thank goodness. How close was it?
Over a quarter of a point.
Okay, so not a close final.
I mean, it close in the sense that it was 0.27 points away, which is out of a score of 10. Pretty close, but it's no 0.04.
To be fair, the Clock Tower did have an easier path to victory than most of the other great songs in this bracket.
It sure did. However, and I did wonder that, so I went looking. It still had the third highest score
Wow.
in the entire bracket.
What was second? Concerning Hobbits or?
It was Welcome to Jurassic Park, also by John Williams.
Oh my gosh.
That was the other .04 matchup back over in the Epic Worlds. Binary Sunset had a score of 8.5. Welcome to Jurassic Park, 8.46. Then Back to the Future Clock Tower at 8.23. Then Desert Chase at an 8.19.
Wow.
Then a tie for fifth with Concerning Hobbits at 8.15 and The Shark Approaches at 8.15.
That is stunning. What a result.
And then sixth would have been King of Pride Rock at an 8.04.
What was the lowest scoring song, if I can be nosy?
In the stuff that made it into the bracket, a 3.56, and it was For the Beast.
Yeah, poor The Beast.
Honestly, the Fear and Tension category in general had the lowest scores.
We were afraid of them.
Other than The Shark Approaches at 8.15 and Oppenheimer at 6.84. Everything else was pretty low.
Wow.
Psycho only had a 6.42, and then it drops below a 5.
That was wrong.
I think it is. I think some of that was just people are scared of the songs.
Of the fear and tension. You were afraid. You were tense. I understand.
Yeah. So yeah.
What a bracket.
What a bracket.
What a surprising series of results. This was a fun March Madness.
Cinderella Story almost made it all the way up. Yeah, what a shocking. I mean, I missed 2 possible points, and they were both in the emotional heart section of the bracket.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I missed so many.
Yeah, I thought I was going to miss the Psycho thing until some last-minute votes flipped it back over to Oppenheimer. Before those last-minute votes, Psycho would have actually beaten out Jaws, too. It might still have lost to Jaws, but it would have at least made it to a matchup against Jaws and been darn close to beating it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it still loses to Jaws, but definitely gives it a run for its money. It's been fun. This was a great... Thank you to everybody who voted. We had a ton of votes come in.
Yes, we did.
Makes these a lot of fun. And, I think because John Williams won, we owe him a Spin It Award as his prize. What award should we give him?
The 7-time loser award.
I do like that because he had 8 entries.
He won, but he did lose 7 times.
He was the biggest winner and the biggest loser of the episode.
What do you know? So in a way, he himself is a binary sunset.
That's hilarious. And I believe, and doesn't that make him does that make him a CGOT winner? Didn't we talk about?
I don't think he's got a Tony.
Yeah, you're right. He might be an ego.
We talked about Spielberg getting an EGOT, but...
Oh, you're right.
Spielberg, unfortunately, did not prevail in this bracket.
Yeah, shame.
A shame. But hey, not a shame for John Williams. Congratulations, buddy. If you're listening, give us an email.
Like I said, there's a reason he's the GOAT.
Send us an email and we will get in touch about your winnings.
We'll get you on the podcast. We'll break our no guest rules for John Williams.
Yeah, we will. But hey, that's March Madness.
It was pretty mad.
We don't talk about basketball ever, but I really do love a good bracket and a unique chance to break away from our usual album reviewing flow and kind of do something unique and fun and explore other facets of music. Because while the album is a really cool art form, the movie score is also a really incredible art form. Fun to celebrate it. Mm-hmm. And fun to see how it functions differently than a TV theme song or a video game soundtrack.
Was there a song that you felt or a score you felt should have been represented in this March Madness bracket? If so, let us know.
Yeah, please.
On socials.
That's right.
And if you have ideas for other fun music-related brackets or challenges or episode formats, let us know that too. Always looking for ideas.
Yeah, jump in the comments on our socials, at SpinItPodOfficial on Instagram, at SpinItPod on X, our email, podcast@spinitpod.com. We're also on our website, spinitpod.com, with a www. in front if you so choose. Let us know how your bracket turned out. Do these votes match what you would have suspected? Are you a big fan of the Clock Tower?
Tell a friend about the podcast, especially if they're in the movies. I know several people that are super big into movies that I said we were doing this, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to check out that episode.
I know.
Find a big cinephile and tell them about this episode.
Yeah.
And then also tell them about our usual format.
True. Or find someone who doesn't watch many movies at all, like me, and see if they, just based on score and vibes alone, make some of the same picks as you.
Fair.
We'll see you next week when we'll be back to review and rank another album. And remember, it's the year of redemption So we're going to be going back to an old favorite.
But until then,
You know what to do. Like a film reel on a projector. Keep spinning.
spinning you must keep.
Oh, clever. An allusion to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you know, E.T. is in Star Wars, like you said. So in a way, I do think the flying theme kind of still was a bit of a winner in my heart.
And then that gets Spielberg to the champion. So
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Didn't even consider that. Although I still lost to Up. I still had the married life beating it out. From one flying theme to another. A lot of songs about flying and chasing in these movie scores.
and a lot of cars, honestly.
Yeah, only one dragon. No, two. Komodo and How to Train.
How to Train Your Komodo Dragon.
It's a lot simpler than the dragon kind of dragon.
I don't know. Hiccup made it seem pretty simple, so you could argue the Komodo is worse.
I could argue a lot of things about this bracket.